Hello everybody and welcome back to the Hunter Loves Voiceplay podcast. It's been a while, almost 2 months, believe it or not, but I feel like I am ready to return to this channel and more importantly, this podcast. So without further ado, let's get into it with a very big, strong, former Voiceplay high tenor, Earl Elkins Jr. I'm going to go back to when I first got into Voiceplay with our Halloween video for This is Halloween from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Not only was I thrown into this world of acapella on a new and different level, Earl had a voice that, after his departure from the group, it was definitely missed. He was one of the founding members of Voiceplay, along with our good friends Jeff and Lane, of course. Earl sings high tenor, which in the music world is known as falsetto. The only other member of Voiceplay that could match or even pass Earl's range was Michael Kilgore. Look him up after this video. He's insane. Oh my god, you thought that Earl's was good? Phew, you ain't heard nothing. Speaking of Earl's voice, it was very distinct, and to my Voiceplay virgin ears, his voice was always one I heard first in songs. In This is Halloween, I first paid a lot of attention to Earl's voice because I was just amazed with how powerful his was. I thought, wow, Behemoth sounds amazing. But then my brain got lost in the world of drum tracks and harmonies that happens so often with every cover Voiceplay does. Even after a year or so has gone by, I go back and with this more recent listen to this piece in particular, I find myself paying more attention to Lane's drum tracks, and there are a lot of them. I think there's 120 or more drum tracks just in that piece alone. Let me see. Earl had added some amazing vocal flexibility to any arrangement he was a part of. He also had a great sense of humor, always keeping people laughing, whether it was cracking a good joke or just talking about what he managed to eat in a day. He could carb load like no tomorrow and keep going. Yikes. My first impression of Earl was probably, yep, you guessed it. He's gotta be something other than tenor. This dude is huge. There's no way his voice fits his body. I was proven wrong on so many accounts. Same thing happened with Jeff at one point, which, they know that it happens. Everybody mistakes Jeff for Earl, and everybody mistakes Earl for Jeff, which is, I just find this hilarious. I think it also happened with Ellie at one point. It was just they thought Ellie was bass and Jeff was tenor. I don't know why. What has been one of my favorite covers? I would have to say one of my favorite covers Earl has done is Queen in 5 Minutes. Mostly because of his performance of The Show Must Go On. I get all the shivers because of his voice and high notes. Sheesh. He's just incredible. And I sort of miss him because of his voice in that regard. If you go into Queen in 5 Minutes and you go to his portion of Show Must Go On, which is close to the end, he just carries it on in such a beautiful, beautiful way. And I think the first time that I heard it, I was just I was blown away because I was just my God, Earl, it's crazy. So Earl had been with Voiceplay since its formation. About 25 years he's been singing a cappella, until 3 years ago in 2021, Earl had made the decision to privately step away from the group, which shocked all of us. I mean, I was shocked. I did not expect, the group to take that type of direction, but, it's understandable because a lot of groups, they do go through those goodbyes and through those farewells. It happened with Pentatonics. Once Avi left, it was kind of a gigantic hole was left in the group. There were questions about why he left, but I think it's safe to say that the choice was his, and I'm just going to leave it at that. He kind of also stepped away from social media, but all in all, everybody wished him the best moving forward. I know I did, and that's just what it is. If he's doing his own thing, he's doing his own thing. So for quite a while, it was just Jeff, Ellie, Lane, and Jay before they found Cesar de la Rosa. I need to work on my and the group seemed complete. But wouldn't you know it, Jay decided to pack up and join the Navy band. So Voiceplay was between 3 or 4 members for a while instead of 4 to 5 members. Funny. Because, okay, for those of you who don't know, they originally went as 4 to 5 instead of Voiceplay. I would say Earl has been missed. I knew him in the group for 3 years, so I went back and rediscovered him throughout the years, starting with the sing-off season 4. I can't go back there. I'm triggered. Up until his departure in 2021. Just watching him grow as a vocalist, like watching all of them grow as vocalists is like what I really go for. Like, it's like you look at them now and you're like, wow. And then you go back in time and you're just like, ooh, Jeff was a little squeaky high tenor. Well, for kind of a higher bass. Because his voice was a lot higher because he was a lot younger. So, but I just always find that that's funny. Yeah, the sing-off season 4. Every time I watch those videos, I'm like, the wardrobe department failed so badly. Why didn't Tony get ownership of that wardrobe? I have no idea. Well, probably because Tony would have had to commit murder in that sense, and then that wouldn't have ended up well for anybody. So, what is one of my favorite performances with Earl? I'd have to say during Aka Top 10 Summer Hits of 2014. This video is fairly old. But the moment of Turn Down for What, with not only full of Jeff's booming bass line, but Earl's tenor high up in the rafters blows me away all the time because he just goes with like, turn down for what? And I'm not gonna replicate that because I will sound like a dying moose. But, go check it out and then just kind of scroll through and then find turn down for what? And then just listen to Earl afterwards. It's just so effortless the way that he hits his high notes. Like, they're just always at the top, always clear, clean, crisp. And that's what, made it good. Whether as a ghostly bust or a fully blue-colored overall wearing high-note slang a cappella singer, Earl had such an amazing place within Voiceplay. It makes perfect sense that he was in the group for as long as he was, and though he's gone, we can always go back and relive the high notes with him once again, and many times over if you want. And I think that kind of sums up everything. So this is the story of Earl Elkins and Voiceplay. If you like what you saw and heard, please give it a like, a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.